You're watching Tackle Talk Live, now into our 6th season as your #1 resource for bass tournament information, with a primary focus on both Toledo Bend and Sam Rayburn. Your hosts, Iowa Pro staffer Steve Graff and Territory Manager for Sportco Marketing, Kevin Jean. Two guys with years of successful tournament experience on all levels. Guys who understand the importance of good information. Anglers willing to share their knowledge to help you become a better angler. So pay close attention as these guys give you more insight on how, when, and where to catch winning stringers. Here are your hosts of Tackle Talk Live, Steve Graff and Kevin Jean.
This is Tackle Talk Live. I'm Iowa Pro staffer Steve Graff, along with Territory Manager for Sportco Marketing, Mr. Kevin Jean. And Kevin, man, hey, dude, we got a good show today. We're going to give somebody some good information. If you've got something coming up on Rayburn, you better pay attention, because today we're going to give you some inside information that just might help you for whatever you got coming up on Sam Rayburn.
Yeah, and Steve, I'd love to know. I think the official practice day for the Toyota event over there was today. I'd love to know the number of anglers that are actually out there practicing.
Yes.
I seen a bunch of social media posts this morning. Lee Livesay made one. Colby Miller made one. This morning the snow just covered their boats. And, down here in Lafayette, we are getting pounded. I think right now, right here at my house, we got up to 6 inches of snow, and it's not supposed to stop till 2 o'clock.
Yeah. I know y'all been smoked down there. Wow. And up here in our neck of the woods at Natchitoches, I mean, I'm looking out here on the lake right now, and we got a dusting here, basically. Natchitoches is about as far north as it really got. Anything north of here didn't get anything. And but we got a little blanket, all we got out here. I think we're scheduled to get some around 11 o'clock today, but after 1 o'clock, I think it's cleared up and out of here.
Yeah.
And so, but anyway, unusual.
Going back to what you were saying, Steve, yes. I mean, we went with a guest today. Cody Ross got second in the Bass Champs this past week, won the practice Big Fish Award for a Friday practice on Bass Champs. He's been on Rayburn a lot, fishing the last several months. So we wanted to get something in on Rayburn again. I know we had a huge turnout, not a huge turnout, but a huge successful BFL on Toledo Bend. Weights were sky high. Weights were really up. They absolutely smashed them. But that kind of does the tournaments over there for a while. Toyota Series kicks off this week, and just something back-to-back weekends on Rayburn. So we want to keep rolling on Rayburn before we jumped over and started getting Toledo in. We will be covering plenty coming up on Toledo once the tournaments really get flowing over there.
Yeah, so people have asked me, what were the turnouts? And I looked it up. Bass Champs, I think, had 147 to 150 teams. BFL had just a little over 100 boaters.
104, something like that.
And when I looked up compared to last year with the BFL, they're down about 30 anglers on the boater side compared to where they were last year. And what does that mean? I don't know. Guys don't want to fish forward-facing sonar. I have no clue. I haven't talked to anybody that's got a reason why their numbers are down, but that's going to be part of the reason. And I think the economy. Some guys, Kevin, have started putting together, and they're doing the one thing you never do as a bass fisherman. They put a pin to it. And when they see how much money they're losing, they're like, wait a minute, you know? So I don't know what the real reason is, but I always tell anglers, man, don't put a pencil to it, because when you do that, you're gonna realize, dude, it's a great hobby. Enjoy the hobby for what it is, and if you make a little gas money along the way and get lucky and win one, count your blessings and move on, man.
There you go.
But anyway, as Kevin's already alluded to, Cody Ross will be joining us here, and we'll wrap up the Bass Champs event #1. And as him and his partner, let's see here, I'm trying to think what his partner's name was.
Oh, he fished with River Lee.
Yeah, River Lee. And that's right, I've got it right there. River Lee, they were the team that came in second on that. And you said, and the one thing Bass Champs is doing is they have a practice round, big bass tournament on Friday. If you catch a big fish, you can bring it in and they'll weigh it. And as you said, they had a 7.7 on that practice day. So congratulations to those guys. So, but I think that's a cool perk, to do that. That's a neat deal. Because how many times have you gone out, or I've gone out, and then practice, you catch that toad that you didn't need to catch until tournament day, but you catch him in practice. But anyway, anyhow, all right, we got to cover those two tournaments. We got lake level reports for Rayburn, Toledo Bend, Lake of the Pines. Water is changing. Lake levels are changing as we speak. Now, this snow, and Kevin, I didn't know this. I kind of looked it up, and I had a buddy of mine tell me for every 10 inches of snow, it equals 1 inch of rain. I did not know that.
Yeah, you way above my knowledge now with all that. I don't know anything about all that.
Well, I was actually curious when I heard we was going to get 3 or 4 inches of snow here originally. I thought, well, how much rain does that equate to? Turns out like 5 inches of snow equals half an inch of rain.
I gotcha.
But anyway, I was a little surprised at that. I thought it'd be more. But anyhow, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have Cody Ross on with us to talk about the Bass Champs tournament and what they did and how they did it. And looking forward to having him on in just a minute. Let's take a quick break, recognize a few of our sponsors. You're watching Tackle Talk Live.
A good marine dealer is hard to find, but a great dealer is even harder. But in Iowa, Louisiana, there's a marine dealer that falls into the great category, Power Implements Marine, South Louisiana's go-to dealer for all things related to the boating industry. A Minn Kota, Garmin, and Mercury dealer, guaranteeing you first-rate service in both sales and repair. A great selection of new and used boats to choose from, including Skeeter, G3, Ranger, Camus, and Go Devil. A knowledgeable staff that will treat you like family and are always willing to go the extra mile to ensure you walk out a happy customer. To see everything they have to offer, go to powerimplements.com or stop by 606 East Miller Street in Iowa, Louisiana. Plus, mention Tackle Talk Live and save $500 off a new or pre-owned boat or $50 off your first service ticket. Toledo Health is a full-service primary and acute care clinic. Nurse practitioners Jarrett Rule and Melissa Vines bring quality health care that's needed and convenient to the area. Nothing is worse than being sick on your family or fishing getaway. Whether it's a stomach virus or a hook in the hand, Toledo Healthcare will try and meet all your health care needs. Appointments available and walk-ins are always welcome. So the next time you're feeling down at Toledo Bend, stop by Toledo Healthcare, located on Highway 6 just south of Toledo Town, or call 318-508-5323. Very few stores are a complete one-stop shop, but Cypress Knee Outdoors is such a place. A store within a store. Cypress Knee is located inside 3J's Four-Way. Whether you need gas, food, drinks, or bait and tackle, they have it. Cypress Knee Outdoors carries top-name fishing brands like Strike King, Sandtone, Spro, and V&M. Crappie jigs from Bobby Garland. Need hunting gear? They have it. Ammunition from rifle to shotgun shells. Deer scents from Buck Wild and Doe and Heat. Deer stands from Titan and feeders from T-Hanger. Cypress Knee has it all. Located off I-49, exit 127, just south of Natchitoches, Louisiana. So stop by Cypress Knee Outdoors and let John Abram and his staff show you everything they have to offer. Or give them a call at 318-238-HUNT. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
This is Tackle Talk Live. We appreciate tuning us in today. This segment presented by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, the Lakes Insurance of Nacogdoches, Texas, Toledo Health Clinic, Cypress Knee Outdoors, Shimano, and Power Implements Marine, located right there in Iowa, Louisiana. And if you walk in the door there and you're looking to buy a new boat, you can either get $500 off a new boat, or if you buy a new boat and you're getting some service work done, new or used, you can get $50 off your first service ticket. So, but you got to mention Tackle Talk Live when you come in there, and that gets you all kind of perks. So, but anyway, on the Tackle Talk hotline, we've got Cody Ross. Cody, man, you were just a little bit short this past weekend. Had that runner-up finish at Bass Champs on Sam Rayburn. And so, first of all, congratulations. That's still a job well done. And so your overall view of how did practice go for you guys?
Man, our practice for Champs, to be honest with you, started really at the end of December. Me and River kind of we talked back at the beginning of December, end of November, about fishing everything around the house together this year and traveling the Opens and Toyotas. So pretty much the end of December, we started jumping in tournaments down there at Rayburn every weekend and putting in a lot of time trying to find some fish, and we finally got some found.
I would say practice went pretty good, Steve. They won the Big Bass Award for practice on practice day. So practice went pretty good. And, that always helps when you can win practice, especially when there's an actual we always pick about winning practice, but when you actually can win money in practice, that's a good thing. So, Cody, I wanted to kind of pick your brain here on how the cold has affected Rayburn the past week. Last week we had the winter on. It was just a beautiful day. Cole Moore fishing the Fishers and Men over there. Beautiful weekend last weekend. But the cold set in this week, last week. So let us know kind of how did that affect the fish? Obviously, it has some kind of effect. I was shocked by the weights. I really was. They were way down.
Yeah, the weights were definitely way down. To be honest, we didn't expect to get anywhere in the top 5 with what we had. And I talked to Shane and Wyatt there at weigh-in, standing around, and they couldn't believe that they won it. I think the low weights are attributed to several different things. The cold coming in, the water's been rising for pretty much, I guess, the last 3 weeks or so. I think that the water rising has more to do with it than anything. They're just scattered out, and they're not really set up on anything just yet. But I think that's going to change here in the next week or two.
Yeah, and even though the weights were down, what was your primary bait? I mean, and what depth of water were you pretty much finding most of your fish in?
Man, we've had a little deal going fishing some piles lately. They vary anywhere from 10 foot out to 30. And then that 8-pounder that I caught that day of practice, and then 2 of our big ones in the tournament came off of a spot that's in about 18.
How was the tournament on Saturday as far as numbers of fish? I mean, y'all have 5 for 20, right at 20 pounds, a little over 20 pounds. Was it that Rayburn winter pattern where y'all pull up and whack them first thing in the morning? Did it take all day? As far as getting those 5 that attributed to that weight, kind of take us through the day of those fish catches.
We started on a spot that I've had a group of fish on for the last 2 weeks, but I haven't gotten any of them to eat yet. They've just been acting super, super weird. You can see them on scope. You can see them on side scan when you auto buy them, but you just can't catch them. So we started there, fished for about 20 minutes, and then left them and went out to that other spot. And that's whenever we caught. It was pretty much. I think I watched the GoPro footage back, and River caught a 4.4, and then I made one cast, and my second cast after that, I caught a 5.14. So that was 2 of our 3 big ones that we had pretty much back to back, and then the other 5-pounder we caught came about an hour later off of a pile.
Now, Cody, what was your the water temperature? Did water temperature seem to make a difference in this event? I guess if you're fishing out deep, it really probably wasn't having that big a factor. But I know at Lake of the Pines, I was over there Friday, and it was like 44 to 46. The water's pretty cold, and getting bites over there was pretty darn tough. But did water temperature even play a role in it with your deal at all?
No, it didn't. And to be honest with you, I think if this is just an assumption, but I think that these fish have been in the same spot for a while, and we just now found them. If I had to guess, there wasn't many there, probably 5 to 10 when I found them and caught that 8-pounder. So I'd imagine they're probably leaving the area. But that's, I would say, attributed to the high water. The water rising's probably got them moving like that.
Yeah.
Cody, I know you're fishing the Open this week. First of all, thank you for taking the time out of your practice there at the Open, to come on with us, talk with us. Toyota event starts on Rayburn this week. Just kind of give me your thoughts on it. I mean, they got snow over there right now, freezing cold, going to get even colder. Give me your thoughts for the week on the Toyota event over there.
Man, I don't really know, to be honest. With the cold coming in as bad as it's going to be and as tough as it was last week, the weights I'd imagine, are going to be pretty low. I don't foresee it being a slugfest by no means. I I think they'll be a touch better than Champs was. I think a lot of the reason Champs was as low as it was because it was brutally windy that day, and we just couldn't stay out on our offshore stuff for long. But the Toyota will be something along those lines. I was really, really like foreseeing the Toyota being a shallow deal with the water coming up. And then once we got this big cold front, I think that's going to kill that stuff out. But
well, I just pulled up the weather just now, and the water temperature, the air temperature, the highs are in the mid to upper 50s starting on Thursday, but the lows are still dropping down into the upper 20s at night. But I got a gut feeling that there could be a good late bite, like at that 2 o'clock. If you got a late weigh-in, that really could maybe be to your advantage if you've got a late weigh-in time during this event.
yeah, I could agree with that for sure. If you got you like a little shallow point that some might pull up on and feed in the afternoon, it could be pretty crucial for you at the end of the day.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Clark's Hill. How's practice going over there for you?
It's not going too bad. Like I was telling y'all earlier, we left Champs right after weigh-in, after we got our checks and everything, about 5:30 and drove all night. Got over here that morning and started practice on Sunday morning. So we've had, this will be about 2.5 days we've spent here, right at 2 days now. There's a bunch of fish like suspended out here doing weird stuff. This water's like super clean and not used to this stuff back in Texas, but it's been fun. Kind of getting it dialed in, but I think we got a little something going on that I don't know about winning it on it, but I think we'll be able to cut us a decent check as long as everything goes fine.
Now, is this going to be will this be one, Cody, with a scope? Will the scope be the main deal this week?
I'm sure it will. I'm going to be scoping myself a little bit, but I do it a lot, but I really don't like to do it, if that makes sense. So anytime I can get away with doing something a little bit different, that's what I'm going to do. So that's probably what I'll be doing this week. But I do think the scope will end up winning in some capacity.
Now, is this lake a part of the? I'm not familiar with Clark's Hill because I've never been there. Is it part of the Tennessee River system?
No, sir. This is part of the Savannah River system.
Savannah. Okay. Okay. Sure.
I believe Hartwell might be like 2 lakes above this one or something like that. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. Well, good deal, Cody. What you have after the Open? You coming back to Rayburn? And I know your home is Longview up there. What you got on tournament schedule after this?
Yeah, after I come back from Clark's Hill, I'm gonna be home all next week, and then that Saturday, me and River are gonna leave and come back over here to Pickwick to fish the Toyota, and after that, couple of things at home, that like a Champs on Fork, and then we got a Champs back on Rayburn again at the beginning of March, that week before the Toyota that we're gonna fish down there at Rayburn.
Gotcha.
So what day next week was it you wanted me to meet you at Lake of the Pines?
He's the Lake of the Pines guy, Steve. That's who you need.
I guarantee you.
Oh, man.
But anyway, all right, Cody, man. Hey, good luck to you over there, and we're gonna be keeping up with you. And hopefully, if you win that thing, we'll have you back on next week. Tell us how you did it. So you never know, man. You never know.
Cody, thanks for taking the time out your practice day, man. Good luck. We'll talk to you later on.
All righty. I appreciate you guys.
All right. Cody Ross, and Cody's over there at Clark's Hill getting ready for the first Open of the year, Kevin. And, of course, they changed the Opens up a little bit again this year. Last year you had to fish like 9 of them. Now they've gone back to, 3 different – they got different divisions. You fish 3 again, and it's
one of those things, Steve. If you don't like it, give it 3 months in this pro fishing world, and it'll change. It's
exactly.
It's beginning to be one of those things. So.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Okay, we're going to take another quick break, one more break, and we've got lake reports. We've got tip of the week, got Shimano product preview with Kevin, and upcoming tournaments. We've got a lot coming up, and we're going to start going into February now and kind of give you a preview of what's going on, what tournaments are fixing to take place, especially on Toledo Bend and Sam Rayburn. So we're going to take one more break, recognize our awesome sponsors. You're watching Tackle Talk Live.
The Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency taking care of Texans' insurance needs for over 25 years, offering auto, homeowners, boat, RV, life, health, and commercial insurance. Owner Clark Moore is a local fishing guide and tournament angler who understands your insurance needs and wants to be your go-to guide for all your insurance needs. For a free quote, give him a call and see why so many Texans trust the Lake Insurance Agency. 2 locations to serve you in both Nacogdoches and Bravos, Texas. Or give him a call at 936-205-4467. The next time you're headed for Toledo Bend or Sam Rayburn, stop by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle. They have an awesome supply of everything you'll need to catch the big ones. Whether your trip calls for bass fishing, white perch tackle, catfish bait, or the ultimate fighting shiners, Keith's Tackle has you covered. Keith and former Elite Series pro Ben Matsubu also have the latest information on what, how, and where you need to be fishing on Sam Rayburn or the Bend. So for all your tackle needs, check out Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, located just off Highway 21 on the Texas side of Toledo Bend, or call 409-625-0181. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Welcome back to the final segment here on Tackle Talk Live. This segment is presented by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, Lakes Insurance of Nacogdoches, Texas, Toledo Health Clinic, Cypress Knee Outdoors, Shimano, our newest sponsor, and Power Implements Marine, located in Iowa, Louisiana. Great guys down there. Kevin, what happens if you walk in and you say, hey, man, I heard about y'all on Tackle Talk Live?
You'll get $500 off the purchase of any new or used boat, or if you're there and need some service work, they'll give you $50 off your service work, any type of service work that you need done. So
hey, can't beat that with a stick,
can't beat that, guys, just for telling them you heard about them on Tackle Talk Live. So take advantage of that.
Before we get to our upcoming tournament, real quick, I got a little tip I want to make sure. Guys, hey, look, and I know I talked about cold weather last week in your boat tires or your truck tires. This week, nothing drains a boat battery quicker than cold weather, and extreme cold temperatures like we're having right now are even worse. So this week, take the time, because it's going to be in the 20s every night. Well, one thing I've done, matter of fact, I'll probably post a picture of it on our Tackle Talk Live Facebook page. I've got a heat lamp directly over my battery box on my boat. I rigged up a bar across there with the butt seat and the motor, and got a bar, and I got the heat lamp hanging down. And it's keeping my batteries at a good temperature. I'm not having to worry about them getting too cold or dropping. Nothing's worse on your batteries than cold weather. So especially when it's consistently cold in the 20s for a while, like it is this week, it's a good time to protect them. And even if you got a Rhino or a four-wheeler, like I've got mine out there in my shed, I've got a heat lamp on that battery as well, because I've had to replace batteries at the end of a winter season every year with my Rhino, because I don't do that, and it'll drain the heck out of them. So, hey, make sure you do that. All right. Let's see here, Kevin, what we got next?
Well, kind of talking about the BFL, Steve. I mean, my goodness, Toledo Bend showed out this past weekend over there. I was looking for the results. I can't find them. I had them on my phone. Do you have them there?
Hang on. Yes, I do have them somewhere here. There we are, right here. BFL, a Northwestern State Demon won this tournament. Evan, I was trying to line Evan up for another program I've got, but he's fishing the open and unavailable tomorrow, and so I've got he won this tournament with 27 pounds even, $3,804 victory. Cole Moore was second with 24 pounds. No surprise. A lot of these guys, Kobe Miller was third, no surprise, 23.01. Tater Reynolds fourth with 21.08. I mean, Robert Lafitte. I mean, these same guys we know and that do really well.
But to get a check, what did it take to get a check? What was the last place check?
Last place check was 20th place. Melvin Dunn had 15.07.
Yeah. 15 in a BFL, Steve. That's to get a check. That's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. That is
I mean,
very good.
They called him. They absolutely called him. And we talked about that last week. Toledo Bend's fishing very, very well right now. And as Cole Moore told us, the thing about it is you can go do what you want to go do. If you're a scoper, you can go scoping. If you want to go throw offshore, you can go throw offshore. If you want to go throw a trap in the grass, you can go do that. You can go do whatever you want to do over there and catch them right now. And that's why it's showing out.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I'd love to hear, and maybe next week, maybe we can kind of line Evan up to see. I think he'll be through, be available. Maybe we can get him on with us and just, because the one thing I'm still wanting to know, was it one on the south end? Was it one on the north end? How many stringers come from the north end, south end? I mean, what was
that kind of weight, Steve? I'd be willing to say those top 4 guys were south of Pendleton Bridge.
Down around the grass?
No, they ain't around the grass. Yeah, but they're south to Pendleton Bridge. I mean,
these are all deep fish.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I say deep. 10 foot to 10 to 30.
Yeah.
Knowing those 4 guys. Well, I don't know him. I don't know the winner. I know of him. I've never met him. But I know 2nd, 3rd, and 4th really well, and I can promise you how they caught him. So I'll be willing to bet when you're talking about weights like that this time of year, it's hard to catch that size above the bridge this time of year. Yeah. March, April, May, it's a different story.
Unless you got current, if you got current, like they can set up right, but
right. They can, but no, I'd be willing to bet that was all down south and that was all shore fish for sure.
And got a technical question for you, Kev, because I'm not a deep water guy. You fish deep a lot more than I ever thought about. Fizzing a fish, what's the depth zone? Is it 20 foot, 25, 30? Is there a certain depth zone you say, you probably better fizz that fish or put weights on him?
I'm a weight guy. I don't fizz anymore now. These weights like I do, I just add more weights to them. I've fizzed probably the first 10 years tournament fishing. I would fizz, but man, with these weights now, you can just keep from having to take that chance that you hit one wrong or you take too much out of it, so on and so forth. But it's a difference anywhere from 15 to, anything after 15 really, depending on how fast that fish comes up. You need to put weights on, but I highly encourage the use of the weights because man, it's so much easier.
If you know what you're doing with fizzing, you can mess a fish up.
You can, but you can't even when you know what you're doing. If you can take too much out, so on and so forth. Weights are just so much easier and healthier for the fish for sure.
Yeah. So. And looking at the co-angler side of this, Eddie Gilder was in first place. He had 11:04. Don't know who he fished with. Lewitt Hamilton was second with 10 pounds, 10:01. Gary Medley was third with 9:04. Mark Sterling was fourth with 8:15. Shane Landry was fifth with 8:14. And the last place check was 20th, Cedric Jackson with 4.07. And again, in these situations, a lot of times it's, did you get paired up with the leaders? If you got paired up with good guys at the top, then most of those guys are going to try to help you get a good limit. And it's a crapshoot on the co-angler side. We all know that. I've been there myself. And it is one of those luck of the draw kind of things sometimes, because when you get that guy that ain't on nothing, he's hoping you know something. Yeah. And if you don't, you're in a bind. I mean, you're going fishing. That's all you're doing. And in these kind of tournaments, you're just donating. So,
yeah.
But anyway, all right. The next event, we've got the results from Bass Champs. Kevin, you got that? You want me to go over it?
No, I got it right here. Shane Campbell, Wyatt Frankins with another win. Let's see here.
In the last 3 weeks, we've had both these guys on.
Yeah. So they won with 21-29. Second place, of course, Cody Ross, River Lee had 20.12. Third place, Wesley Baxley, Austin Woodall had 18.31. Fourth place was James Schamberger and Braxton Hollinshead had 17.84. And fifth place was Kobe Bryant. Brandon Semino was 17.82. The last place check was 18th place with 14.71.
Yeah. And that went to Chris Horton of Pittsburgh, Texas, and Trenton Bolden from my hometown of Mount Pleasant, Texas. So congratulations, those guys getting the last place check. And they got $2,000 with the classic Buick GMC bonus cash. So they got a little extra money there. So Good job, guys. And again, Bass Champs did had a pretty good turnout. I didn't look at the Bass Champs numbers, Kevin, to see if they were up or down necessarily, but
that's going to be on par with last year.
Yeah, and I think with Brandon Belt shutting down, they're going to pick some people up. They're going to pick some teams up probably. Them in Texas Team Trail will probably split a lot of those teams that were, looking to fish Brandon Belt. So, but anyhow, all right. So let's see here. Where am I at? Okay, upcoming tournaments. You got the Toyota Series, as we've already kind of previewed. It starts Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's on Rayburn out of Humphrey Pavilion. If you're looking to go over there for the weigh-ins, I'm pretty sure the weigh-ins will start at 3 o'clock. And maybe you can catch them online if you want to rather watch online. January 30th to February 2nd, Stage 1 of MLF, the first big tournament of the year for them, Lake Conroe. Kevin, that could go either way there.
No, it could be. I think they're going to catch them.
They could smash them there.
Yeah. No, I think they're going. I think it should set up. I don't know a great deal amount about Lake Conroe. I've been there a couple times, but it could set up very well for them.
The thing about Conroe, from my experience, it fishes small. That's the one thing about Conroe. It fishes small.
MLF though. I mean, it's
a
whole lot of them anyway. So
exactly. February 8th, Texas Team Trail. The first tournament kicks off for them on Sam Rayburn, first weekend of February. February 15th, ABA Louisiana Pro League on Caddo Lake will kick off. That's your first tournament of the year. February 15th, Bass Champs also kicks off with tournament number 2 on Lake Fort at Lake Fort Marina and Motel. Also on the 15th, the BFL number 3, kind of going head-to-head with Bass Champs on that one. It's on Toledo Bend out of Cypress Bend Park. And so, I mean, Kevin, you're going to have 3 BFLs in the books, and you're not even through the end of February yet.
Yeah, but, I mean, see, that's what they went to the last 3 or 4 years. That's kind of how they've done. Very interesting. Bass Champs and BFLs has been about the same weekend every time, too. So, those guys are not given an opportunity to fish both. Steve, February 22nd, the next kind of what I have on the schedule for Toledo Bend, the next good-sized tournament, Toledo Bend Bass Series. And we haven't talked about this much. It's a new series that started up over there. No forward-facing sonar. It's going to be kind of a north of the bridge, south of the bridge type tournament. So February 22nd, that is a north of the bridge tournament. Again, Toledo Bend Bass Series. You can go to their Facebook page and check them out. So that's the tournament. And it's getting a lot of pub. $180 entry fee, 100% trailering, no guides, no pros, and no forward-facing sonar. So that could go well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then of course you've got the Bill Lewis Rattle Trap Tournament. It's a big event for a lot of people. A lot of people love fishing that. It was postponed. They moved it to February 23rd. Again, that'll be on Sam Rayburn, goes out Humphrey Pavilion. And then the last tournament, then ABA Solo 150, their 3 tournament series kicks off February 28th and March the 1st on Lake of the Pines out of Lakeside Park. That should be a really good event. Should be some really good weights brought in for that tournament if the lake is fishing halfway. I mean, we're getting into the spawn now. If the weather continues to warm up. So, but anyway, there'll be some females pulled up and looking around for sure by that event on Lake of the Pines.
And in the tournament world, Steve, for us around here, big tournament release this week, the Outlaw Outdoors No Scope Just Hope tournament. It's the very first no forward-facing sonar tournament for Outlaw Outdoors. It's scheduled for May 10th, Sam Rayburn. So for all you guys that, hey, I'm pulled back fishing tournaments because of forward-facing sonar, or just don't like fishing against it, or just don't like having to use it, this is it. This is the tournament for you. And I haven't talked to Clint yet, but I have a very good feeling he is using this tournament to decide the future of Outlaw Outdoors as far as which direction they go with no forward-facing sonar or not. I might be wrong. It's just my opinion. Knowing Clint how I know him, I can see him using this to decide, if it's a big turnout, Steve, you can't help but go, all right, well, the anglers have spoken. So if you want to use your voice, this is how you do it. And if you cannot attend, and this is something you want to see more tournaments like this, pay that entry fee. You might not be able to fish, but if you want to see more like this, send that entry fee in. That's how you get it done, guys. So it's going to be interesting. See how that one turns out.
There'll be a lot of eyes on this tournament from not just from the anglers themselves, but tournament directors. You know, what kind of turnout are they going to have for this? It might, like you said, it might send a message. Hey, I need to rethink my forward-facing sonar rule. And so Randy Despino, you know, a lot of eyes were on Randy Despino last year when he in March, whenever he decided no scope. Turns out didn't hurt him hardly at all, if any. I mean, he had just good turnouts.
Biggest tournament on Toledo Bend last year.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's going to be, like you said, it's going to be interesting to see how that deal turns out that Clint Wade's putting on. Looking forward, and Clint does a great. Him and Stacey, they do a great job. I mean, good gosh, they're first class people. So, all right, lake levels real quick, and then Kevin will do a Shimano product. Toledo Bend's 169.89. It's down 3.11 feet. So they are pulling that lake right now. It's had a 10-day loss of 10 inches, 10.08, 24-hour loss of over an inch. Sam Rayburn is 165.73. It's up 1.33 feet above pool. 10-day gain, 7.2 inches. 24-hour loss, they're starting to pull on it, 0.72 inches. It is slowly coming down, but not much. Lake of the Pines, I was over there last Friday. The lake looked low to me for some reason, where I saw the original water line, but I don't know if that was a high water mark that it's been up to for a while at some point, because I thought the lake was low. Turns out it's 10 inches above pool, almost 11, almost a foot above pool. It's at 229.11. So 10-day loss, 11.88, and 24-hour loss, 1.2 inches in the last 24 hours. It has fallen. So, but anyway, and again, the water temperature when I was at Pines, and it may be like this on Sibley, Toledo, right, is in the mid 40s. But after this week, Kevin, that's going to drop into the upper 30s, possibly even the low 40s.
Yeah, I can definitely see it being the low 40s, Steve, after this week. I know like Thursday, the wind chill here is supposed to be 4 degrees. Thursday, tomorrow morning. Supposed to be like 4-degree wind chill. It's not gonna be as cold north of us. So the lakes are not gonna be as cold, but still, I mean, the wind chill, just say it's 12 to 15 degrees. I mean, that water temperature is gonna be falling.
Yeah, that's cold. And all right, Kev, Shimano product. You got anything this week?
I do, Steve, but actually we're going to switch gears here to another sponsor. Instead of doing a Shimano product this week, we're going to do a Gill product. The new hoodie I got on here, Steve, this is the Gill Meridian hoodie. It's the one that a lot of others are going to that has the built-in neck gaiter in it. It's built in to the hoodie. Now, the only thing different on this one is it's removable. The gaiter is removable. It buttons inside, Steve, so you can take the gaiter in and out. Very simple to do. Really, it's lightweight, but really warm. We went on a Colorado ski trip a couple weeks ago, and that's when I hurt my neck. But that I wore this, and man, it kept me warm. I love it. And it's a product. It's another product that my company we do rep for. So I think it could be something that people would really enjoy if they tried it out. Check out any of your Gill dealers. If they don't carry the product, tell them they need to get with their Gill rep to carry some of the product, or you can check gillfishing.com. But guys, this is a lot. Everybody's going to this style now, but having the removable gaiter is
it's a game changer. That's a game changer. I like that. Now, and actually, it's funny you should say it, because yesterday I ordered a new Gill rain jacket as the Aspect.
Yeah.
I ordered it yesterday, and so I've got one of those on the way. And but anyhow, love Gill product. They've got great product. So nothing to sneeze at all. Great quality, do a great job, and so and it's you can tell it's designed for anglers and the outdoorsmen. I mean, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, so, definitely. But we'll get back into the Shimano products next week. I got some other things we want to talk about and show you. But while I was wearing this one this week, I want to go ahead and jump into that. So,
all right. Anything else?
I think that covers us for this week. Guys, if you're fishing a Toyota, be careful out there. Be safe. Be interesting to see what those weights look like. I agree with Cody. I don't think they're going to be very high. I think it's going to be very tough. 20 pounds a day might win this thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this ends up with the Toyota series.
Well, and as you and I both know, again, if you get on the right spot, you can probably do some damage quickly, and you may be out there the rest of the day, just out there, because it could be one of those deals where you catch them off one spot because they're going to be grouped up, probably pretty tight, I would think.
Yeah.
And so anyway, congratulations again to Cody and them for that good runner-up finish. And we want to wish everybody fishing the Toledo. And another thing we want to say, be careful. Stay safe out there on the water, especially during these practice days when sometimes you think you need to be out there, but you really don't have to be out there. Be careful, guys. I mean, wear the proper clothing. Make sure you got an extra change of clothes in the boat in case you do fall in, because I can tell you it would take no time for hypothermia to set in if you fell in the water today or any time in the next week. Extra change of clothes could save your life. So make sure you got extra pair of clothes and change of clothes in your boat. And so it just might be the best thing you ever did. All right. Well, thank you for tuning us in. Please check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or however way you listen to a podcast or watch podcasts. If you'd like to become a member of our sponsorship team, please message us on our Facebook page, and Kevin will make sure he sends you a detailed packet. For Kevin Jean, yours truly, Steve Graff, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week, once again, with more Tackle Talk Live.